Just a reminder that this and all my other videos are made for adult doll collectors or adults buying dolls for others. This is not a video for children. Viewer discretion is advised. Thank you very much for listening. Hello Internet, my name is Kelsey, and welcome back to my closet. So this isn't quite what I had hoped to do for this week's video, but unfortunately some winter weather got in the way. But it's alright, I'm adaptable, I can make this work, and we're going to talk about some stuff. Unfortunately, the news situation has just been very dry lately, I guess because the holidays are over. A lot of things that we knew were coming out have been coming out, so that's the updates that we're getting, is that things are out on the shelves rather than, ooh, these new things are coming. Hoping it'll heat up again during the summer, but in the meantime, I managed to scrape a few things together that we can talk about. So let's get right into it. First thing I wanted to look at is these two new Disney style dolls of Ariel and Jasmine. The Jasmine one is said to be releasing in March. Ariel doesn't have a date, and neither of them have prices yet, although I'm assuming they're just going to be the same price as the other Disney style dolls. And this kind of coincides with the news that Mattel is now taking over the license to make Disney princess dolls. So this will be some of the last Disney style dolls we'll probably see, because Hasbro only has the rest of the year to do princess dolls before Mattel takes over. I have mixed feelings about the fact that Mattel is taking over, because I really do think the Disney style series is a great line. I'm not really a collector of Playline Disney dolls, but I observe from the distance. And I like the fact that they get creative with the different princesses and their looks and taking things out of the classical range to try to make them more interesting. But I think that Hasbro did have some decent ideas for the princesses. So hopefully Mattel will see what they did and not screw it up this time. So anyway, let's look at these two. Jasmine has this really nice silhouette. It's very fitted, but then she's got all this extra volume towards the bottom because she's got layers of tulle and the gold fabric. She looks like she has a lot of glitter, like all over the place glitter. Like she's probably gonna shed glitter all over, but she is gonna sparkle in any room that has really good lighting. She also comes with a lamp instead of a purse, which is a fun little accessory. She's got some jewelry, she's even got a couple of ornaments in her hair, and her hair has some teal streaks to it, which is nice because they don't always put different colors in Jasmine's hair as far as I can remember. Her face looks really good. I just overall think she's a really nice doll. And Aladdin is my favorite Disney movie, but I'm kind of loving this Ariel doll over here, even though The Little Mermaid isn't super high up on my list of Disney movies. I just really love the color scheme here. I think I just have a thing for purple and seafoam green together, and I really love all the layers of tulle and the ruffling at the bottom of the dress. She's got starfish all over her body that kind of look like they're clinging to her like a real starfish would. She's got some pearls around her wrists. She's got starfish earrings. I think the only part of this doll that I'm not like in love with is the eyebrows. I think they're a little bit harsh, but otherwise I really do like her a lot. And I am considering getting her because, again, I don't really collect the Playline princesses, but the Disney style series has always been more interesting to me. I would be tempted to get this one because I think she's very pretty. Next, this is kind of a minor, short topic, but I think some people will probably appreciate hearing this. So, as we know, when the Bratz Rock Angels came out, the faces were a little bit strange. I guess enough people have complained that MGA is working on correcting the faces to make them more like they should be, more like the original dolls, and less like weird fish people. So far we have some pictures of Roxxi, who is one of the ones that's being updated. Sasha is also supposed to be getting an update, although there's nothing on when that's going to happen or when even this new version of Roxxi is going to be released. But if you didn't get the Rock Angels reproductions because you didn't like the way the faces were, then this might be your opportunity now to get them, because they are actually going to look decent. Next, we have a couple of pictures and descriptions of new fashionistas for this year. There was a group shot with a bunch of different dolls, and two of them seem to line up with some descriptions that were already released for new fashionistas. So we have this one here. She's a curvy. She's cute. I really like her face, and I really like the color of her braids a lot. The dress, meh, but you know, fashionistas, the great thing about them is that it's very easy to take their outfits and change them out for something else. That's the whole point. Then we also have this one with pink hair and a prosthetic leg. Always good to keep up with the inclusivity. We all appreciate that from Barbie, and they've been doing a really good job. The only thing about this one with the pink hair is her face is kind of boring. She almost looks like a variation on Millie. I just think that she's not super duper unique like some other fashionistas that we've had in the past, but you know, that's just my personal feeling on it. As far as descriptions of the other ones, there is supposedly going to be one wearing a romper with purple streaks in her hair. There's going to be a curvy one in a checkered dress, one with a smaller bust with hearing aids, which I believe is a first for the fashionistas. It's going to be one with a denim dress and an orange hair bandana. And then there's going to be 3 different Kens and one with vitiligo. I believe this is the first time we're having a Ken with vitiligo because I know we've had a couple of Barbies. It's nice that they are mixing things up, putting in some new things to continue with the inclusivity. You know, maybe eventually we'll get a Ken with a prosthetic leg since we've had a few Barbies with one already. I always really like the fashionistas. I haven't really found any that I absolutely despise, honestly. I think besides the articulation thing, they are a really nice kind of basic doll. So technically this last thing isn't news, but we did just get some new pictures and video for the Mermaze Mermaidz dolls. 2 dolls have been fully revealed to us now, one of them being the one that we actually saw leaked pictures of, and then the other one, a new one that we didn't see anything about yet. So Claudina9 and Hexion both made videos about these dolls, so if you want to see full details on them and unboxings and everything, check out their videos. I haven't watched them just because I'm debating still whether or not I actually want to get these dolls. But if I do, I want to go into it a little more blind, so I'm trying to avoid really seeing the whole thing at this point, but I'm still not sure. Even though the top halves of these dolls are really pretty, I can't get over the tails. Part of it is that they're just giant hunks of plastic, and it looks like they really cheapen the doll above, which has a lot more effort put in. I mean, the faces are made to be so realistic looking, like the eyebrows have all these individual hairs. There's so much detail around the lips. Even the nose is sculpted really nicely. Like, they're very intricate up top. And then you just have this big chunk of plastic at the bottom. And not only that, but it's color change, which is an element that's often associated more with like cheaper dolls, so it kind of just gives the whole thing a cheaper vibe. Besides that, there's no joint at the hip. The only joints in the tail are at the fin. And yes, it can make the doll stand on its own, as you see this picture from Claudina's video. But she's like leaning forward, and since you can't bend her at the waist or even at the knee area on the tail, she's always gonna have this position like she's leaning forward. And I feel like that just doesn't really give you a whole lot of display options. Like, you can move their heads and arms around, and they do seem to have a joint at the chest for a swivel, as seen in this picture, but there's only so much you can do with that. The other thing is mermaids don't stand on their tails. In the water, their tails are usually behind them or flowing to the side, kind of like they have them positioned in the box, which by the way is a very strange box, and I don't understand why half the tail is sticking out when there's really no point, except if you want to play with the tail fin. And I almost foresee some tail fins being broken off in the store before they even get sold, but I digress. I just feel like there's a lot of movement missing, And without that movement, they just don't feel like proper mermaids. I almost would have rather seen them with a regular stand so that you could fully extend the fin down so that it looked more like they were swimming upwards. But having them stand up on the fin like that is just, I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. And like, it's a shame because these two are really pretty and I love the top halves of them. Even though Shell Nell has that big hair bow that's kind of out of style, I really do like her face a lot. I think she's just really stunning. Kishiko has such a pretty color palette with all the pastels. She's got like multiple hair colors. She's even got a horn made out of hair like a unicorn. But every time I look, especially Shell Nell's tail, I look at it and I just kind of imagine it being made of like a really tight-fitting material. The texture that they molded into it looks like material. You know, obviously that was the thought process that they had. Why not just do a material removable tail so that you have some more play options, some more posing options, or at the very least, give us something that can bend a little bit, because otherwise I think they just look really stiff. I still do want to see what the rest of them look like and have a think about it as to whether or not I am going to get one of these. That's just my feelings. Anyway, as always, I want to know what you guys think, so definitely leave me some comments to read. Thanks so much for watching the video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, share the video with your friends, and until next time, bye!